What's going on, guys? Seth here from Team Union Seth, back as your coach of the Philadelphia Fearows for our Week 1 battle in the PGL against Mokey. I don't think they pulled up team names or anything for this one, so we'll see what happens with that throughout the season. But anyway, I did a live com of this battle. Honestly, it was pretty cool. It was really fun. I enjoyed this battle a lot, but unfortunately, the recording got lost. I'm not sure what's been going on with my recordings lately. But I figured out what the issue was. I would go to save the project and it wouldn't save, and it was a whole mess of stuff. But anyway, we're here for a post-com, so I apologize, especially for the first battle of the season. But I wanted to get you guys this battle anyway, and then all the rest of the battles, or at least next week and things like that, should be fine. So moving right into it, we brought. If you haven't seen the team builder, make sure you go back and watch that. But we brought the Ferrothorn, Raikou, Miltank, Emboar, Landorus, and Blastoise, while my opponent brought the Arcanine, Snorlax, Donphan, Jolteon, Politoed, and Kyurem Black. So first thing I noticed right off the bat was no Manaphy. Manaphy was definitely a threat to my team, so I was glad to see that there was no Manaphy. So let's get right into the battle. So we lead off with the Ferrothorn. I just want to get my rocks up to start off. I think rocks are going to be really nice, especially for the Kyurem and the Arcanine, as he leads off with the Snorlax. So I wasn't expecting Fire Punch. I was actually expecting him to switch, but he does go for a Fire Punch as I get up my rocks. But he takes a little bit of Iron Barb's damage, which is nice. I decided to switch out and preserve my Ferrothorn and go right into the Landorus as he goes for another Fire Punch, just praying to not get a burn, and we're okay there. So we take a little bit of damage from the Fire Punch as we proceed to U-turn as he brings in his Politoed. So we do get a crit, and that U-turn does a ton of damage, so he can't switch into rocks again. We don't see any leftovers, and what really surprised me is we didn't see the rain. So turns out he's a Scarf Politoed without the rain. So he goes for a Hydro Bump on my Raikou as I go for a substitute, so I know he's going to break the sub here. But he actually doesn't. He misses the Hydro Pump, so I'm still behind the sub, and I knock him out with the Aura Sphere. So really nice to get rid of the Politoed. That thing, Scarf, could have been a little bit of a threat. So definitely glad that I got that. I got rid of that thing. So he brings in the Jolteon. I wasn't exactly sure why at first, but it turns out he goes for Hidden Power Ground. So he has the Hidden Power Ground, which means I know that this thing cannot touch my Landorus. So I did go for the Calm Mind, expecting him to go for something like Signal Beam or Shadow Ball. And I calced it, and I cannot live the HP Ground. So I just switch right into Landorus, and he goes for the HP Ground and misses. And I'm free to just go for a U-turn on this thing. So I know I'm faster. I went for the U-turn as I switch into my Leonardo, my Blastoise, and he goes for the Baton Pass. So I was expecting him to go for HP Ground, or not HP Ground. I was expecting him to switch. I wasn't sure what he wanted to go for, but I knew that Leonardo could take anything. But I go for the Toxic on his Snorlax, and I miss. And he goes for the Frustration. So it does a good chunk of damage. I get some recovery with the leftovers, as I don't want to take any more damage on my Blastoise, so I decide to switch out into Ferrothorn as he doubles back out into his Jolteon. So I calc it, and I can live anything this thing wants to go for. So he goes for the Thunderbolt. We live, and I'm just going to knock him out with the Gyro Ball. So we did see that he was Life Orbed. Not a big deal. So we knock him out with the Gyro Ball. And at this point, Ferrothorn has pretty much lost its use. He brings in the Donphan. I was a little confused with this one. I figured he wanted to get rid of rocks, which is exactly what he goes and does. Now, instead of getting rocks up, because I knew he was going to Rapid Spin, instead of doing that, I just went for the Power Whip to try to get some damage off on this thing. Looking back, rocks probably would have been the better play to keep those up for the Kyurem and the Arcanine, but it is what it is. We did a good amount of damage to the Donphan as he knocks us out with Earthquake the following turn. So he gets some leftovers recovery. We bring in the Blastoise, so I know I can go for a Scald and just knock this thing out. But he actually doubles out into the Kyurem Black, which was a little risky in my opinion. If this thing got burned, it could have been pretty bad for him. So he takes a little bit of damage from the Scald. We get some more recovery as he goes for the Outrage. So I was not expecting Outrage, but that is what he went for as we Toxic this thing, which is really nice. Now, I calced the damage, and it doesn't seem like he's too offensively invested, but I don't know what happened. I think I calced it wrong, as you guys will kind of see later. We get the Intimidate drop as he has to go for another Outrage, and it does a lot more than I expected. So I was expecting it to do a little bit less, but like I said, I think I messed up the calc. But either way, he doubles out into his Donphan as I went for the Superpower, and I knock out the Donphan, which is really good. So we're getting rid of his team at this point. Raikou can do some stuff with Thunderbolt because that Donphan is gone. But he brings in his Arcanine, and I decided to just sack off my Leonardo, my Blastoise. Turns out he goes for the Ice Gem Hidden Power Ice, which was a pretty cool tech for the Landorus, so that was pretty fun. But he knocks out with the Dragon Pulse as I'm going to just bring in my Landorus. I know I can outspeed this thing and Earthquake it to death, and nothing he has wants to take an Earthquake. So he brings in the Snorlax, takes that Earthquake, but I do 2-hit KO with that. So I'm just going to fire off another Earthquake, knock out the Snorlax, as he's going to bring in his Kyurem again. So I am scared of that Kyurem. I know I need to keep Landorus alive for the Arcanine and to help with this Kyurem. So I double out to my Miltank. Now Miltank is my dedicated check to the Kyurem. He goes for the Ice Beam. We eat that up. We get a little bit of leftovers. And predicting him to go for another Ice Beam or something else, I believe I just went for a Milk Drink. As I did, so I get myself back up to full health. Now we do have the Thick Fat, so I could take a Fire move from this thing, but I do switch out and decide just to sack off my Rotom, or not my Rotom, my Raikou, because it doesn't have a whole lot of merit left in this match. So I just sack it off, and I'm going to go back into my Landorus and fire off an Earthquake. Now I'm either going to do a ton of damage to this thing, or I'm going to do a lot of damage to the Kyurem. He goes for Extreme Speed on my Earthquake, and we do just knock him out, which is really, really nice. We get rid of the Arcanine. Now all he has left is the Kyurem. Now I wanted to bring this thing back in to intimidate him again. So I decide, oh wait, I'm sorry, I let this thing die. I was expecting to be faster, but it turns out he is Scarfed. So he's Scarfed into Outrage as he did outspeed me. So I just go into Miltank, and I calculated at this point Outrage is going to do about 50%, a little bit more as you can see. So I decided to go for just a Milk Drink and get myself back up to health until he gets confused. And then the Toxic wears him down a little bit more, at which point I will be able to just Body Slam and finish him off. So he gets hit by the Confusion. I am free to Milk Drink again just in case he hit me. Now the Toxic worn him down enough where Body Slam will take him out. So he can't kill me even with a crit Outrage, and I'm able to knock him out with the Body Slam. So good game to my opponent. This was a really fun match. I said in the live comm that this was one of the most fun matches that I've played in a while, and it really was. It was really enjoyable just to play like a chill, kind of more of a chill, fun game. Playing Gen 5 is awesome. I love Gen 5. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the meta, with the competitive side of Gen 5, but in general, I just love Gen 5. It was the first game I played on the DS, second Pokemon game I played overall, and you know, I just really love the generation and love playing with these mons. So, really fun game, good game again to my opponent. Make sure you guys comment down below and let me know what you think. If there's anything I could have done better, what you guys think in general. Other than that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.